You're looking at the world's fastest road-legal four-door car around the Nürburgring, at least that's the claim. So we know the Jaguar XE Project 8 is massively fast. But today, with the help of Portimao, we're going to find out if it's actually fun to drive. How best to describe the Project 8? A four-door 911 GT3 wouldn't be far off. It certainly has more in common with a GT3 than it does any other super saloon. In fact, the Project 8 makes a BMW M3 CS look like something a sales rep would drive. The car is limited to 300 units worldwide. It's designed and built by Jaguar's Special Vehicle Operations Division. SVO, as it's known, has completely re-engineered the car. The body in white, the front door panels and the roof are shared with the regular XE, but just about everything else is new. The brakes, suspension, aero package, wheels and tyres and, well, anything that makes a difference to the way the car drives is unique to the Project 8, and the results speak for themselves. Around the Nürburgring, the Project 8 is 11 seconds faster than the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. It set a time of 7 minutes 21 seconds. The price? £150,000. What you're about to watch is my very first lap in this Project 8 at Portimao in the dry. I've done a couple of sessions already on a damp circuit. And you know what, I have to say, given the circuit was slippery, the car coped brilliantly well. It's approachable, it's friendly in wet conditions, and you wouldn't expect that from this sort of car at all. It's on aggressive Michelin Cup 2 tyres, it's very stiff, and it was incredibly drivable. Amazing really, it's all down to the four-wheel drive system, which makes the car much more approachable, much friendlier to drive than it would otherwise be. So for the first time, I'm in track mode. We've got comfort, dynamic, and track. In comfort and dynamic, the dampers are more or less the same, but in track, they switched to a much firmer, more aggressive setting, and that made the car too stiff when the circuit was still a bit damp. But now that it's dry, we can use the track mode, and it feels, even just a few corners into this first lap, it feels amazing. The car is so flat. As well as its 3 driving modes, the Project 8 also has 2 basic configurations, road and track. Converting the car from road to track configuration is not the work of a moment. You have to extend the front splitter and the rear wing for maximum downforce, then lower the ride height by 15mm. That's a wheel-off job. So it just feels planted. It's flat, it's superbly well controlled, massively agile, massively responsive. It feels like no other super saloon. It's got more dynamic ability, more grip, more precision, more body control than any other super saloon. M5, E63, C63, M3, it's got more ability on circuit than any of those cars, way more. I've driven it on the road, and it's good on the road. It's not as comfortable, as plush as those other cars, but it works. But my God, this car really is built for circuit, and out here, it feels fantastic. Coming down the main straight, we've got 600 horsepower from a supercharged V8, across the line at 150 miles an hour, braking for this fast 4th gear first corner. Good steering, really placed the car, massive, massive grip. The brakes are fantastic, 400mm carbon ceramic brakes. They just don't fade. Good feel as well. It's all about this four-wheel drive system though. Jaguar did not want to build a burnout machine, a drift machine. That's not what this car's about at all. They want it to be fast on circuit, and that's exactly what this car is. So in track mode, it favours the rear axle more than it would do otherwise, more than it does in comfort and in dynamic even. So it feels rear-wheel drive. On the way into a corner, it feels rear-wheel drive. It's got that agility, that same adjustability. But then when you put your foot down, away from a corner, it will send up to 50% of the drive forwards, which means that when you do put your foot down, you don't just get massive wheel spin. What you get is really sharp drive, bang, out of the corner with no loss of forward motion at all. the car doesn't really want to slide. So have a look here. Second gear, throw it in a little bit. Foot down, and it doesn't really want to oversteer. You can make it do it. It will do it a bit more in the wet, but it's not a natural drifter at all. That's not what they've tried to build. Instead, it's a very, very sharp, very, very fast track car. The weak link, that'll be the gearbox. It's an 8-speed paddle shift automatic. It isn't terrible by any means, but compared to the rest of the package, which is razor sharp, it feels a touch slow and hesitant. It feels so lovely when you get it just floating into corners, all 4 tyres just scrubbing slightly. What a sensation. What a machine. I've never driven a saloon car on circuit that feels quite like this one. This car has got the optional track pack, which adds £10,000, and you get these seats, you get the half cage in the rear, and being strapped in like I am now into these seats makes you feel everything, every movement. It makes you a part of the car. They make a huge difference. A new standard, a new benchmark. It had to be though, didn't it? It had to be. It's £150,000 more if you have the track pack. It's got that huge rear wing. It's got Michelin Cup 2 tyres. It's been fully re-engineered. This car had to set new standards for super saloons, and you know what? It does. It does. You can have this car in a more road biased trim, so you can have rear seats, and then, well, it's as practical, it's as usable as any other saloon car. Exceptional. It's an exceptional track car. Really, the XE was originally developed to be a motorway car. That's what it's for, isn't it? To have a 4-cylinder diesel engine and to hack up and down motorways. But by going to town with it, they've turned an otherwise very humble motorway car into a monster of a track weapon. It's a monster.